Welcome back to Midwest Access. So we are doing a casual Friday KFG today.
Yes.
Here with Krista Ryan, who is the OG KFG lady. And she has her book, Keep Freaking Going. And we met, just to give you a little recap, about 10 months ago?
Yes.
Less than a year ago.
Yes.
You were starting your second KFG journey, of more than second, but yours a second one.
The second big one.
The second big one.
Yes.
And so maybe let's give everybody a little recap of what that journey has been and kind of an update where you are now.
That sounds great. So KFG, Keep Freaking Going. Here at KTTC on Fridays, it's Keep Fridays Going.
Yes.
So that's what we do on these little fun Fridays. But KFG was born in 2017 based on my experience being involved in a mass shooting, the Las Vegas mass shooting, which actually is coming up October 1st on the 8-year anniversary.
Wow.
So that night in my head was Keep Freaking Going, running, trying to get out of harm's way. And it was the birthplace of KFG.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, I've really been sharing stories, hearing stories of others, how they KFG, in their life, whether it's, a divorce, a diagnosis, a job, promotion. There's all these moments that are like, anxiety and stress, and you start telling yourself these internal narratives that are false.
Yes.
Those are KFG moments and KFG stories. When I first met you, I had been recently diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer. So I say I'm one of those rare unicorns that was diagnosed at the age of 44. So before
even the screening.
Yes, before they were even recommending being screened.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed because someone shared their story with me. And because they shared their story with me, I saw similarities. I saw a lot of things that were very common threads.
Sure.
And there's a bit of a whisper that said, Krista, go check yourself.
Yeah.
And because I did that, because this person, who's a dear friend, shared her story, I was diagnosed, and it was caught in time for a very successful chemotherapy journey, multiple surgeries. My most recent was 3 weeks ago, and I feel absolutely fantastic.
But it's been definitely some Keep Freaking Going moments.
It's been a KFG 11 months at a whole new level, but in all honesty, I feel that today on this side of cancer, I'm still getting scans every 3 months just to double check things and make sure, colorectal cancer is not really one that you're in remission.
Oh, really?
So they kind of just watch you and say you don't have signs of cancer right now for 5 years. As long as I have clean things for 5 years, then I would be cured.
Okay.
So until
So
then,
you have a little road ahead of you still.
I got some time. Yeah.
Wow.
There's KFG, every day is a KFG.
Yep.
What it's taught me is in the moment living. Like, what do we do this for? We do this for moments like this.
Yep.
Having conversations with each other, and it's also taught me the power in sharing our stories, because so many people have stories that are kept inside.
Yeah.
And when we start to share them, there's healing and freedom and connection on the other side, and it's so beautiful.
An inspiration for other people listening, like you said, because of somebody sharing their story, you were able to get checked, and that inspires us to continue to do that. And so, what has kept you going, and whatever you're willing to share, what have you been through here these last 11 months?
Yeah, so 11 months, multiple surgeries. So they found the tumor. Of course, you start the journey at stage 1. They're you're just diagnosed.
Okay.
So then they removed the tumor, found out it was a little bit more aggressive than what they had hoped for. Okay. So that was a KFG moment, just looking at the facts, trying to stay neutral, grounded. Fear can take over really quick.
So fast.
Yep. So the moment I would find myself or catch myself going down that fear cycle, I would just say, okay, stop, take a breath, look at the facts. The facts are, I have cancer. The facts are, it's a little bit larger tumor than what they had hoped.
Sure.
Bumped me up to stage 3, and then decided to do the surgery that's called LAR surgery, and that's where they just remove all of the infected cancerous areas.
Okay.
So that was
intense.
That was a big surgery.
Yeah.
A lot of what was infected, the blood supply, lymph nodes, they took a lot of things.
Okay.
And it was a very not hard decision. I really leaned on my surgeon and said, if I was your wife or your daughter or your friend, what would you recommend? And
Yeah.
he said, I would do this. So
Okay.
just having that support, I'm like, then there's no question, let's do it.
Yep.
Let's go, you
Yep,
know?
let's go.
Let's go. And so there was healing after that, 4 rounds of chemotherapy, 448 chemotherapy oral pills that
Oh
had
my
some really
gosh.
crazy side effects that I learned a lot about my body and what I can and can't handle.
Wow.
And then I had an ostomy. So for those of you that don't know, it's I don't have normal GI. I have I had a bag is what they call it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, that's very life-changing. You really
Oh.
learn how to live with it and what to eat and how long it takes to digest all things, but not enough people talk about it.
No, it's one of those kind of taboo topics.
Yeah, it's
again,
like,
because
oh,
you're
we can't talk about it.
because it relates to poop, so we can't talk
Exactly,
about it.
exactly. So what I did
But
is
it is common.
It is so common, and I owned it, and I named my ostomy Blanche because
Blanche.
I love the Golden Girls, and Blanche doesn't take any you know what
There
from
you
anyone.
go. I like
so
it.
I would always talk openly about Blanche and
But clothing,
everything.
so many things. Like you said, it affects what you eat, what you can eat, what you're gonna do.
how you travel.
Yes, how you travel, which I
Yes.
know you've really continued to live your life throughout this
Yes.
journey. But like you said, we don't talk about it enough, and we just need to talk about it so people feel like if this happens to you, when this happens to your friends,
Yeah.
you can encourage them. No, you can still do things.
And
don't
you
have to stay in
can
your
laugh
house.
about things.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of comedy that comes to having something like that. There is. But what I found is the more I allowed humor, the more open I was about it, the more I offered others to be able to ask questions. Because if you don't know, you
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And then you just feel, and we're especially conservative around here. We
Yes.
don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, which is a great thing, but it can be a detriment when we're not connecting because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in your bodies, you know, like
No.
I don't care if I have, balloons hanging out of my ears. If it's helping me live my best life, let's just talk about it.
Yes, let's just talk about it. Okay, so we're going to pause here because we only have so much time for on air, and then we're going to continue our conversation. But we'd love for you to share your stories, mykfgstory.com.
Yes.
And you can share it on there. You don't have to be on TV, but you can. And we do it in a very relaxed atmosphere. We don't want you to share anything you don't want to share. We can pre-record it like we are today, so that you're sure that your story gets across the way that you want it to. But it's all about, like Krista says, sharing our stories for connection reasons, for
Yeah.
supporting each other, knowing that you're not alone, with the ultimate goal to enrich and improve each other's lives.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We're stronger together.
Yes, thank you so much, Krista, and watch the rest. It'll be on our website, on our Facebook, on all the socials, and so you want to check out the full videos. You can catch up all the way with Krista and hear more about how you keep freaking going. All right.